It may be a new day. I may be wearing a different t-shirt. But I'm going to try and upload 2 videos today. Hopefully this will be the second. If you are tuning in from my unboxing, hello. Let's get into this video before I digress anymore.
Now for my next number, I'd like to return to the
classic. Time.
Alright, so this is the next installment to the Gimme 10 albums from each year of the 80s, which was started by Vinyl Richie last year, was continued by Andy Borders, then known as Andy's Vinyl Den. And I sort of jumped on the bandwagon. I haven't been as up to date with these as I would like, so what's going to happen is I'm going to do my 86 in this video because we left off with 85 about a month ago. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more than that now actually. But I'm going to get into this. I've picked out 10 albums from my collection that are all from 1986 that I'm going to show you guys. Maybe not necessarily the 10 best albums from 86, just my 10 favorite albums from 1986. And I jumped on this bandwagon just because I do love the 80s and basically anything 80s related. So let's get into this before we run out of time and I start boring you with all the details and whatnot. So let's begin with, I'm quickly changing up my order here actually. Let's start off with Janet Jackson, Control. I don't, of course from 86, I don't have to say the years on these because it says it in the title. But there were some really big songs on here. Control, Nasty, What Have You Done For Me Lately, just to name the big songs off of this album. The only reason I've put it last in my 10 is because out of these 10, this is probably the one I pulled to listen to the least. Because I do prefer the follow-up album to this, Rhythm Nation, 1814. So, but this is still a good album. It's not putting this album down or anything. It's just out of the ones in this pile, this is absolutely, without a doubt, the one I pulled the least. But still a good album. Next up is 4. By Huey Lewis and the News. Big track on here, of course, The Power of Love, which we all know from a particular movie that I shouldn't have to mention because we all know what big movie from the 80s that used the song The Power of Love. I should hope we do anyways, because the album, the soundtrack actually did feature in my 85 video, so that should give you a hint as well. But yeah, 4 by Huey Lewis and the News. Again, one Hip to Be Square as well is on this album, and that was a big song for them as well. So yeah, had to pull that one and show it. I do love that album quite a bit. George Benson, While the City Sleeps. Do love a lot of George Benson's 80s material, especially from like Gimme the Night up to this album in particular. There's some songs on here actually produced by Kashif. Maybe just one track on here, which is Secrets in the Night, which is a fantastic track. Yeah, just a fantastic song. Album, Shiver and Teaser are also both on this album. Just a phenomenal album from start to finish. Maybe my favourite George Benson album. From front to back, just because of the Kashif song that's on here, but absolutely fantastic. And I always flip between this and Gimme the Night for which one's my favourite, but I do think I pulled this one to listen to a little bit more, so I'm gonna have to say this one's my favourite of the 2 Benson albums. But yeah, While the City Sleeps, and that was number what, 8? Yeah, 8. So number 7, China Crisis, What Price Paradise. You might not know who these guys are. They're a new wave band from Liverpool, England, and they were also the first live concert I ever attended because I was lucky enough to get some free tickets, so I went along. And ever since then, the song Best Kept Secret, which is on this album, stuck with me. So I've been obsessed with China Crisis ever since. I know the concert was maybe 5 years ago now, this summer actually. But I still love China Crisis to this day, and as soon as I jumped on the vinyl bandwagon, I've been meaning to just try and complete China Crisis if I can. One of the very few bands from this time and in this genre that I want to try and complete, but a very, very good band for me in particular. But an 80s band I do love a little bit more because I like a lot more of their material, and that is the Human League. This is Crash. Human is the big track on here. I shouldn't really have to say much more about this. Fantastic album. Yeah, Human League. Gotta love them. And that's kind of a small influence from my dad because he played Dare a lot while I was growing up. But I always preferred that album. Growing up later on, kind of rediscovering them, so that's why I pulled that one. We all should know this one, Kind of Magic by Queen. Of course, has a Kind of Magic on it, and I'm sure there's another big track on here that I'm not thinking of. One Vision, and Friends Will Be Friends as well. Fantastic album. Gotta love a bit of Queen, especially the 80s Queen. I don't know, I seem to like 80s Queen a little bit more than most people, because A Kind of Magic would easily make it into my top Queen albums. I don't know why, I just really, really love this album. So, A Kind of Magic by Queen. Next one I pulled out, we're into the top 4 here by the way. This is Invisible Touch by Genesis. Of course has the track Invisible Touch. Also has the track Land of Confusion on it, which was covered by Disturbed, and that's actually how I came to discover Genesis for the first time. And while I love a lot of the 80s Genesis work, I'm still trying to discover their 70s stuff, but I really love this and the Genesis self-titled album, which I talked about also in this little series that I'm doing. But yeah, this is still a great album. Very cheesy, but I love it. So yeah, Invisible Touch. Of course, another classic here, Beastie Boys, License to Ill, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Fight to Your Right to Party. All the big classics from the Beastie Boys there, so got to love it. Of course, there it is, License to Ill, love it. Next up is actually an album I forgot I owned in my collection, because I don't pull it that often, but it is Metallica, Master of Puppets. It's a reissue. I do wish I had an original, because unfortunately this reissue doesn't sound very good, but I'll upgrade it at some point. Maybe just keep the cover, frame it and whatnot, because that is a nice looking cover. But of course we've got Battery, Master of Puppets on here, Orion, Damage Inc. Just a lot of great songs on here from 1986. And a great thrash metal album from Metallica, so I had to give that one a pick. But my top album, my favourite album from 86 is, well, rest in peace Mark Hollis, is Talk Talk, The Colour of Spring. Always loved this album from Talk Talk. Even growing up, my dad would play it a lot, especially like Life's What You Make It and Don't Believe in You. Two fantastic songs on here. Also, Happiness Is Easy is another one I really like off of this album. Excuse me, it's just one of those albums I think is perfect from start to finish. Yeah, just an absolutely incredible album, and by far the album I pull out of this stack the most I listen to. And of course it obviously really affected me when Mark Hollis passed away earlier this year because of how much I love this album. So yeah, that is going to do it for this video. My top 10 albums from 1986. Of course, if we're going up in the years, the next one will be 87, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you stay tuned for more vinyl finds, because I've got one of those videos coming up soon, hopefully. We'll see how Sunday goes, because I'm going somewhere Sunday, and we'll hope that they have records there. We'll see. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks again for tuning back into the channel, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace.